Welcome back, everyone. Thank you again for joining us this afternoon. This session, we have a great session from Barbara Elsie of Bluegrass. She is going to give us 50 free online resources and in 30 minutes. So that's a lot of work. So we're going to give this over to Barbara and let her get started. And some of us were talking about a couple of things in the last session, and I think Barbara might have a little peek for us. Barbara?
Okay, can everybody hear me all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you, although I have put the PowerPoint slides up here under the shared files, but we're going to be going out to a lot of examples I have of these resources. So we got to go quickly. So let me share this screen, and we will head into this stuff. All right, so first of all, I am Distance Learning Professional Development at BCTC, formerly Mathematics and Statistics, and I still teach some math and statistics. My email address is listed there. This PowerPoint presentation is kind of a subset of another one that I did at our school called 101 Free Resources. And if you're interested in those PowerPoint slides for the 101, please feel free to email me at this email address. And I will send you the slides for the 101 free resources. All right, but let's start this one. And I'm going to start with something called Linsu Create. This is a whiteboard screen casting program that you can put on Android or Apple devices. It is free. However, I will say this one caveat about it. There is a storage quota. So you can use it as much as you want to, but after a while, if you fill up your storage quota, then you've got to pay for storage. Let me just show you an example, just a very simple math example that I made using Linsu Create. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You get the idea. It is a whiteboard type of application. This is similar to things like Show Me, and I'm not using Show Me anymore because I used up all my storage quota, but it's along the same lines. And again, it's free until you fill up that storage quota, and then you can pop to some other type of program. This next one is Adobe Spark, and I love Adobe Spark. It's very easy to use. You can make a very nice application with your PowerPoint slides. You can add your own pictures, your own text. You can put music on it. You can put your own voice on it. The example I've got here is just a very simple slide presentation that I made from my trip to Italy, but you kind of get the sense of what it does. Now again, I'm going to stop that for the sake of time because we are going through these quickly, but you get the idea of what Adobe Spark can do. And you can learn this program in about 10 minutes. It's very easy and it's free. All right, so some Apple apps. These are available for iPads or for any iPhone. One of them is Talking Emoji, and I just think this is hilarious, a fun way to amuse your students. And I've made a little example of this. Taking you to my YouTube site here. Now you'll notice this does leave the talking emoji little icon right here. You have to pay for it if you want to get rid of the little icon that's right there. But that's just a fun sort of app you can use to entertain your students a little bit. This other one called Face Talk, I put it on here, but it does have a little bit of problem with uploading videos to other sources. You can take any photograph you want, whether it be an animal or a human, and you can make that photograph speak. So I did a rather hilarious one with my dog, but again, I had trouble uploading it, so it may not be the best of apps. All right, so this next one is a very fun one that I very much enjoyed doing things with. It's an Apple app, it's an Android app, and it's also an online application. And you can make interactive posters. Down here, I've put the website for the online application, but I want to show you an example of what I mean by an interactive picture. I just took a very simple picture of myself and my daughter. And here's the picture. All right. And if I kind of hover over things, you'll notice these little spots show up. Like this is a painting in the background of the Redwood Forest. So I made a link there to a Northern California video. And so I can just press here and play the video. Or back here, this is the Grand Tetons. And I made a link back here to the Grand Teton video. Or further down on this page, if I hover over the two of us, I've got a little bio for my daughter right there and a bio for me right there. Or I can go over here to the left, and I've also put a little soundtrack of some Beatles music off to the side. So with this thing link, you can take any photograph and link off to separate sources, and you can do as many as you want on a photo page. Let me go back here. TextNow is an Apple or Android app that allows you to get a free phone number. So you can text with students without them knowing what your true phone number is. Now, I will say this one thing about TextNow. If you don't actively use the TextNow number that you're given, it will disappear and go back to whatever their little database of numbers is. So it's got to be actively used, but it prevents the students from having your phone number, but they can still text you at this number as much as they need to, and you can text them back without them ever receiving your true phone number. Audacity, if you've not used it, is a free audio program that allows you to take any audio file and edit it. You can put music in the background underneath your own voice. You can put sound effects. It's all free. But I will say this about it. Audacity is difficult to use. It does take time to learn how to do it. They do have free tutorials on the Audacity webpage, and you can go right there. I use Audacity quite often. I like to make podcasts. It does take time, however, to learn how to use it. Now, Book Creator One is a way to make your own digital book. You can play videos, you can show pictures, you can play music, and I want to show you a little video that is on the web page that kind of gives you a good idea, a feel for what this Creator One can do. So I'm going to go to the web page and watch their introductory video. Again, I'm going to stop it there for the sake of time, but I think you get a really good idea of what that application is about. Now, I did notice when trying to use it that you do want to use it in Google Chrome. It's difficult to use it in other browsers. So it's free, but try and use it in Chrome rather than other browsers. Now, PowerPoint Screen Recorder, if you're not aware of it, PowerPoint has its own screen recorder. And unlike a lot of free screen recording programs, you can use PowerPoint Screen Recorder with no time limitation. So I have an example of a YouTube video here, but I think it would be a little bit easier in our time here to show you where this is in PowerPoint. So let me escape my PowerPoint and go here, and if you hit Insert and go over right here on the very right of the screen is a screen recording button for PowerPoint. Now the important thing is when you use screen recording in PowerPoint, you always want to compress the media afterwards, which will show up when you try to save your screen recording. And then if you want to move it to something like YouTube, you want to save it as an MPEG file instead of as a PowerPoint file. So an MPEG file. And you'll see that's one of the choices that you can save your PowerPoint as. All right, let me go back again. Oops. All right, so I think I've lost track of where I was, so I'll have to find it here. All right, so I think in some of the prior sessions, people have mentioned Microsoft Sway. If you're not aware of Sway, Sway, you can import any PowerPoint, you can import Microsoft Word document, or you can make it totally from scratch. But I'm going to show you just very quickly just a little bit of an example of Sway, just so you can see what this looks like. So if I click on my example of Sway, oh, of course, this is used through our Microsoft account, so we do have to be signed in. Okay, so here's one I've done on ADA compliance, and I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but this took a PowerPoint presentation that I had, and I changed it using Sway, and you can kind of get an idea of how much prettier this is than previous PowerPoints would be. I'll just scroll down through a little bit of it so you can get an idea of this is what Sway does. It sort of mixes things up to make the presentation look a little bit different. And I currently have it in a vertical scroll format, but you can also change it to a slide presentation. All right, but that gives you an idea of Sway. It's very easy to use. Stix, if you're thinking about getting into very simple animation, Stix is a simple animation program that anyone can use. And I've got a little example here of what you can do with Stix. I'm going to skip over that though because I am running out of time. But this one is a good example on YouTube that you can take a look at. EdgeShelf, if you're familiar with Pinterest, in Pinterest you are able to pin examples of web pages that you really like. In EdgeShelf, you can pin examples of applications. So let me show you this. And of course, I have to sign in. So notice that I have a shelf, and it has all these different applications that I have found online, and I can put them in here, and I can always go back to them and go, oh yes, let me look up this application. So it's a nice place to store a library of all the applications that you find. All right, so some OER content. Coursera, if you're not familiar with it, is a free online, basically online courses that you can take for free. Skillshare is the same kind of thing, free open online courses. LibriVox is free audiobooks. So if you're like me, if you like to listen to things on your way to work, audiobooks, here's free open resource public domain books that you can listen to. Now, FMA music, I use it all the time to put it at the background of videos, in the background of audio casts. This is free open resource music, and it's good music. So I really recommend you look here. If you've got audio you want to add into the back of some of your videos, this is a great place to get open resource music. Make Beliefs Comics. This is a comic strip place where you can make your own comics. All of these pictures are already in their resources. I just simply took them and added them into a comic strip. It takes 10 minutes. It's very easy to do. I'll give you a second to look at my little comic strip. It's not great humor, but something quick. All right. Now, if you're not familiar with the KCTCS app, this is a wonderful app for students. They can access Blackboard, PeopleSoft, Starfish, email, everything that's convenient to their campus. Now, I said Bluegrass website here, but of course, when they sign in to the KCTCS app, they are able to pick the college that they are at, and it is then routing them to all of their information at that particular college. It's also good for us if we want to check our email at home. We can do it from our phone if you've got the KCTCS app on there. It's more useful to students, though, than it is to us, but still a good thing for your students to be aware of. Here are some science applications. BioInteractive has beautiful biology and interactive presentations. I don't even enjoy biology, but I love looking around at that site, so that kind of tells you how nice it is. 100,000 Stars gives you a 3D tour of the universe. It's really quite fascinating, so I suggest you go there. If you are not familiar with the NASA apps, these are beautiful pictures of our universe and of places that the Explorer and other remote devices have gone and take pictures of. So go look at those. It's really beautiful. Some social science apps. If you're interested in looking up where things are in the world, worldatlas.com. If you teach something that involves democracy, like political science, democracyweb.org. Voice recorders. Almost every single phone or Android or iOS device has a voice recorder on it. So you can record your own lectures vocally, and students can listen to it later on. So it's very easy to do. For the sake of time, I'm not going to play this one, but Voice Changer is an iOS and Android app if you really want to change the way your voice sounds. If you don't like listening to yourself, for example, you can change your gender. You can change to a child, a robot, a chipmunk, or whatever else you want. Here's an example. Now, obviously, I changed to a robot for that one. Oh, I'm sorry, it's playing that first recorder. There we go. Okay, so slow motion changes a movie to slow motion. Since I'm running out of time, I'm not going to play that little video for you that I made of my dog in slow motion, but it is there for you that you can use in the PowerPoint slide to see how that works. Time lapse is the opposite. It takes a very long period of time and compresses it into a very short amount of time. And I've used a YouTube video there that's really quite beautiful to kind of show you what that's like. That's 10 minutes long, though. So, of course, we're not going to listen to that right now, but you could go there on your own and take a look. Stop motion animation. I do want to show you this. If you're familiar with the Lego movies, this is stop motion animation, where they take a picture and then they move something and they take another picture and then they move it a little bit more and they take another picture and they string it together into an animated movie. And I'm going to show you an example that I made with PicPac. But I wanted to show you this because there's a second app I want to show you right after PicPac that I used on this video. Okay, so not a very good slow stop motion animation, but it gives you an idea of what you can do with this app. But what I did with that is I took this program called H5P. This is a free HTML open source that makes your videos interactive. The only problem is that you're limited to 16 meg videos, which is a very small video. But I want to show you that same PicPac video where I've made it interactive. It's very easy to use. So notice this asks me questions as you go along. Is a ghost moving this chair? Yes, run. Or no, that's nuts. And okay, so no, that's nuts was the correct answer. And I just keep going with the video. All right, and you can also show charts on here. Ghost has 1, I have 0, but this chart could be made bigger. All right, so this option is also if I've got this set up so that whichever one of these I press, it's going to take me to a different point in the video. So if I press ghost, I believe it's going to go to this point down here where my little hand is. And if I press vampires, it's going to go right there. So I'm going to press vampires. And notice it jumped to that point in the video and, of course, showed a little vampire. So this video, this H5P allows you to add quiz questions into your videos. As I said, it's very easy to use. Doesn't seem like it would be, but it's 10 minutes of playing around. Then I want to show you Whisk Online. I'm obviously running behind because I'm only at number 30. We may not make it through all 50, but you can go and look these up later since you will have the PowerPoint slides. But I want to show you Whisk Online. Whisk Online has a lot of videos, animated types of interactive videos that you can grab. So you can choose them according to discipline over here on the left. They also have a great game library, and you can both play games that other faculty have already developed for the different areas, or you can build your own game using these templates that they have already set up. So there's all kinds of them. If you like to do Jeopardy, I do that in statistics a lot. There are all kinds of games here, Jeopardy, Memory Match, flashcards, all different kinds of things. Game Salad is another place where you can make your own games, and so is PPT Games. They have templates for all kinds of games. There are also free app makers out there which are actually very intuitive and actually have built-in tutorials to lead you through the process. I've made an app for my stat students from the AppyPie. App Maker is actually even a little more intuitive and has a lot of the same features, but it doesn't have a quiz option, which is why I chose AppyPie. ScribblePress allows you to make your own cartoon story. So if you were watching the Powtoon presentation that Chad did earlier, this is along the same lines but in book form. Now, if you're not familiar with Delve on Microsoft Office apps, if you're always losing, I'm like losing applications that I've sent to people. So I can go into Delve and actually find something that I've lost track of, and find something that I put onto an email and track it down again. OneDrive, if you are elsewhere and you're always forgetting your files, if you put them in OneDrive instead of onto just your local computer, you can access them anywhere. So it's a great way to store things and have access to them. FreeMake Video Converter, that Adobe video I showed you earlier, will not go into YouTube in its current format. So if you need to change things over to a format that YouTube uses, FreeMake Video Converter is a good way to do that. Usiken helps you to learn how to play piano, guitar, bass, or ukulele. So if you're wanting to learn a music type of any type, this will help you. And then a lot of us have those stressful days where we need to calm down, and Calm.com is a great place. They play music like rain and thunder that you can put on in the background to calm you down, or a fireplace, that sort of thing. Okay, so these two are great. I really love these resources. The first one is Explainia.com. It's a repository of animated videos, and they're not kid videos. And I'm just going to go there real quickly. I know I'm running out of time. But notice some of the videos here. Calculate your body mass index. That's not a children's video. Choosing a safe password. Here's one on the human heart. There's all kinds of animated videos that are not children's videos, and they're open resource. So it's a wonderful place. Now, I know I'm running out of time, and we're a few short.
Barbara, go right ahead and finish that. They'll hang out if they can. They will jump off if they
Okay. Okay. Time Toast is a great place if you want to make a timeline with a story attached. If you have plagiarism that you want to check for in essays that our students are turning in, this is a site to do that. Now, of course, we do have Safe Assign in Blackboard, but if you're not using Blackboard for your courses, this is a good place to look up plagiarism possibilities. Now, Old Maps Online is a beautiful website. It is so cool. We can go and let's put in Lexington, Kentucky here. Now you can put in, of course, any place you want to, and it will give you old maps that you can look up for different times. So here's a map of Lexington in 1943, for example. And we can, of course, look more closely at that map and what roads were available. And it'll go back as much as 200 years. So it's pretty interesting, especially if you're teaching some history that involves old maps. Escape Motions is free fractal generation software. It's absolutely beautiful. It is math software, but you can use it for any kind of artistic type of thing you might need. GeoGebra, I could never pronounce that right, 3D Graphing Calculator is a graphing application for math. So if you're doing in calculus, if you're doing washer or disk rotations, I've always had trouble drawing these. This thing will draw it for you. But you do have to know the math to be able to use this program. TeacherTube is exactly what it sounds like. It is YouTube for teachers. This site, Playing History, is a wonderful site. I think this is a beautiful way to learn history, where students can play a game in a historical setting, and they can be the individuals that are going through that scenario in history. So this site has lots of games. They can press on American history, for example, and it will bring up all the games that have to do with American history and, of course, other forms of history as well. If you're not familiar with PowerPoint add-ins, this is a beautiful thing to add to your PowerPoint presentations. It's under the Insert button, and there are free add-ins. Emoji Keyboard is one of those, where you can get all kinds of emojis, and there's hundreds of them. This is just a few examples I have put on this PowerPoint slide. Pixton Comic Characters is one of my favorite PowerPoint add-ins. You can put hundreds of different comic characters on your slides, and here's one of them here. And then just a few little fun things if you just need a laugh at the end of a hard day. These are beautiful little places to go. They're a lot of fun. They will make you laugh. I'm just going to go to theuselessweb.com. On the Useless Web, you can just hit, please, show me a useless website. And it will take you to a useless website. As we can see, not much reason for that website, but a good laugh. We can hit it again. It'll take us, sell me something weird or confusing, please. Again, a useless website. We can keep hitting that over and over again, and it'll take us to something different and fun. All right, and then lastly, we are at the end. We have to have fireworks. All right, so that is the end of my presentation. I will come back here to Blackboard.
Thank you very much, Barbara. That was great. And maybe next semester we'll do this again and have you come back into the other 50.
Exactly, yeah.
That we missed. But everyone, this has been recorded. We will, when we get the recordings out, we will also get the PowerPoints to you. Barbara, if you could email those to us. I can't download them from.
Okay, I'll do that.
Upload them, but not download them. And we will get all of this out to you. But such great tools. I took a note of a couple of them, a couple new ones for me as well. So I love these kinds of webinars where we can just jump in, see what's out there, so that then we can go in and play with it and figure out how it works for us. But we've seen somebody use it a little bit. So thank you so much for your time and your expertise, and please keep researching those, and we'll just keep bringing you back, and you can share them with us if you want. Bluegrass, sure. Bluegrass has a great resource in you, and I appreciate you letting us piggyback on them and have you share your expertise with us, because these are some great ways to get students engaged, get them involved, and or allow us to chill out a little bit when things get crazy.
Exactly.
Anyone have any other questions for Barbara? Angela, Barbara had said if you emailed her, she would send the 101 PowerPoint. I would ask her to just send that to me and we'll send it out, but I'm not going to, because we're going to bring her back in the fall and let her do the other half. But yeah, we'll have this, and we will keep these kinds of things going. So if anyone else out there that's on the line, or if you know someone who uses some really cool tools, that should share those with everybody else so they can see them, have them contact me, and we'll continue having these online conferences. We've got one later on in April, the end of April, on diversity. So any other tech ones will probably be in the fall, since you guys will probably, most of you anyways, leave me for summer break. So we'll wait till you guys get back after that. But thank you again, Barbara, so much. Appreciate that. Everyone else, feel free to stick around, or if you need to jump off and come back on, our 2:30 session is from Sharon Down of Gateway, Making Blackboard's Gradebook Work for You. So she's got some great Blackboard tips and tricks for us. So look forward to seeing you in an hour.
Thanks, Paige.
30 minutes.